The romanticism with John McCain began, obviously, because of his POW experience. I mean, that seems to be the core. And, you know, Obama is always very respectful of that. When I talk about him on the show, I'm very respectful of that. I also point out the fact that I'm not exactly sure how 5 years in a POW camp serves as a qualification to be President of the United States, or is even relevant to being President of the United States. But certainly you have to honor him for that. You have to honor him for his service. But it seems like the press has taken that to another level. And you mentioned at one point that there may be some guilt involved here.
Yeah, I think that's true, and we've even got some quotes in our book from reporters who have admitted that, especially those who were baby boomers who didn't go to Vietnam. Mm-hmm. You know, there's no question, as you said, he suffered greatly. He showed tremendous courage during that ordeal. But the question is, what does that mean for the presidency? Is that the only story to tell about John McCain and his character? But you do find, when you look at the way he's been covered over the years, that the fact that he was a POW, it's become almost just like part of his name. John McCain, who was a prisoner of war in Vietnam. You see it over and over again. It gets mentioned in stories that have nothing to do with his history or national security or anything related.
Constantly.
And it's almost as though it's created this kind of halo around him as far as reporters are concerned, that anytime anybody asks a character question, then that's the answer. You know, there was a case a few weeks ago when John Kerry was on Fox News Sunday, and they played a clip of Howard Dean calling McCain an opportunist. And Chris Wallace, the host, said to Kerry, well, was John McCain an opportunist when he passed up the chance to get early release from his prisoner of war camp in Vietnam? And that had nothing to do with the thing that Dean was talking about.
Right.
But that seems to be, as far as many in the press are concerned, the answer to any character question about McCain is, oh, he was a POW.
And is that because so many of them didn't serve?
I think that definitely plays a large part in it, this kind of guilt. You know, one of the things about McCain's, the particular character of what McCain went through in Vietnam is that it's kind of something that is removed actually from politics in a lot of ways, because he basically went to Vietnam, got shot down, and spent 5.5 years suffering. And so even if you're an opponent of the war, it's not as though, you know, there's anything that you can object to in that. Yeah. And so it's universally acknowledged that was something terrible that he went through. But, you know, the real question is, okay, now what does it mean?
Exactly.
And what we find also is that the McCain and his campaign and the reporters who cover him are constantly attesting to his supposed reluctance to bring it up, that he's so modest and so full of integrity
he brings it up
that he
all
would
the
never
time.
yeah, that he would never exploit it for political purposes.
He brings it up. It's in every ad. It's in every speech that he makes. It's in every town hall. I mean, what is anyone talking about? He constantly brings it up.
You're exactly right, and that's what's so bizarre is that is that he says pretty frequently that he doesn't like to bring it up, and reporters say that he's so reluctant to bring it up. But as you said, it's in every ad. It's been really the foundation of his entire political career from the first time he ran for Congress in 1982, if you go to McCain's website, there are a lot of subtle ways. You know, even their logo with McCain, it has these stars. It looks very military-like. Right. There are web videos of showing him as a POW. It's in the advertisements that they run. He mentions it, he makes jokes about it. He talks about it in serious ways. It really is kind of the core of all of his campaigns has been this idea that he deserves people's votes because of what he did in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's part of his story. He can talk about it as much as he likes. It's his story.
Sure.
But what is problematic is for him to talk about it all the time and then claim that he doesn't like to talk about it.
And the media actually embracing that idea.